Welcome to your June 2026 horoscopes for your Sun, Moon, and Rising sign. I'm recording. This is a new thing that I am doing. I'm doing horoscopes for the entire month of June, going through the aspects, going through the transits of what is actually going on for each and every sign, what each and every sign needs to know for this month. What is so special, what is so spectacular, what is so important and significant. And I thought of doing this video tomorrow, but I just want to do it today because I just felt like doing another video today. So I'm going to do this. And if, I'm like, I do one and I'm like, I had enough, then yeah. But if I'm just in a mood where I'm like, I really want to do another one, and if I have time, then I will do that. So, delving into this particular video, the timestamps will be in the description below. You want to go back and see part 1. It's 40 minutes where I discuss the astrology for the month of June, the whole month, going through all the aspects. That this video is going to come off of and build off of that other video. So you want to see that other video first so you understand the astrology. Now, I'm not going to go through every little aspect and what you need to know for every little thing because there's a lot and I don't want to give it all away. But I just selected a few little, couple aspects or transits from this month, and I am really breaking it down for each and every sign so you can understand what it means for your sun and rising sign, so you can get a better picture of it and a better understanding of it. But something simple and digestible for you, not so complicated. So these horoscopes are better than using the house systems to do horoscopes. They're much better because they're more insightful. They're more valuable. They are deeper. They are more meaningful than the, this new moon is happening in your 9th house of career, philosophy, higher education. And you're going to be setting new intentions in the areas of higher education, and you're going to be setting new intentions. You're going to be having new beliefs or whatever. You're going to go travel. It's a good time to go travel. Who is going to do that? Who is going to actually take action on that? And who's going to relate to that? Because everybody's life is different. Some people are going to travel, some people have the means to travel, some people don't, some people are in a job, some people are out of a job, so you can't put the house system to horoscopes. You just can't. Because if you do, it is destroying and diluting the astrology. It is destroying the value of meaningful horoscopes. Okay, talking about the house systems and planets aspecting, that is for consultation. That should strictly and only be used for consultation. When it comes to YouTube, I just find this a very, very shallow and fake version of astrology. I want to show you a version of astrology that is deeper, more spiritual, more psychological, and more real. And that is what I want to present to you in these videos. So, I hope that you enjoy and I hope you get value out of these videos. I'm going to delve into Aries first of all. So you want to follow along for your sun, moon, and rising signs. If you don't know your moon and rising, you can go to astro.com and, find that information and put that in and discover what your moon and rising sign is so you know what the heck I'm talking about and how it applies to you. So, let's start with Aries. So, the question for Aries this month, I'm going to slow everything down because it's a marathon, not a sprint. Very, very difficult lesson for Aries to learn. Is first of all, what boundaries are keeping you from being in your fire? What boundaries are keeping you from living a life that's totally true and authentic to you? Because that's what Aries is here to live. They're here to live a life that's true and authentic to them wholeheartedly. They're here to march to the beat of their own drum. They're here to take that rope and throw it over the crossfires of everything going on and just done. Done with the old story, done with the old narrative. I am starting afresh to a new life with my own visions, my own desires, my own goals. So, what boundaries are keeping you from being fully in your fire, from being fully in your assertive, creative prowess and power, from being empowered to live your own life? The limitations and fears you've kept on yourself. Well, Aries, you do not have to let others dictate what you want to do in your life. You have the autonomy over your own life. So there's any boundaries from family or friends or whatever. And if you feel like the safety net is keeping you from living a life that your soul wants to live, then it's time to dissolve those boundaries. And it is time to live that authentic life. So I may, touch a nerve with some of you if you're like, oh, I'm gonna stay in the old comfort zone. Well, sorry if I did, but I'm just being direct and honest. Like, it is about living from that place. And then, co-creating your reality. From dissolving those boundaries and co-creating. Well, you get to co-create your own reality this life, Aries. Aries is a sign of co-creation. It's not just, oh, I'm just creating my reality through logic and my ego and then this and that. No. You're co-creating it from spirit. You're co-creating it through spirit, from spirit. And that is what you are doing in a way. So, what it comes down to is it comes down to really, really having and feeling the power to co-create this reality for yourself. To co-create whatever reality that you want with the help of spirit. We create our own reality with spirit as our tool, as our best guidance system, as our best spirit system. And we have the freedom to co-create whatever reality we wish. We have that freedom and autonomy, and we need to use this very, very specially and very, very uniquely, okay? So when it comes down to co-creating reality, you have the version of reality that is very, very real and very, very in your power. And you want to be in your power with that. So then, another thing, Aries, is to stop being so outwardly focused on what is going on out in the world. What you want to do out in the world. Who you want to meet out in the world. What you want to experience out in the world. And focus on your home and family life. And you may be like, I'm not going to do that. I have things to do. I have a life to live. I have this and that. But what it comes down to, we all have family. We all have roots. We all have places where we came from. We all have origin stories. We all have those narratives. So, time to focus more on that, Aries. And focus on your home and family life. And come back to your roots. Go back to those roots. And these roots from the people that birthed you into this world, that made you the individual as you are. So now is the month to honor those individuals. Honor those individuals who gave you meaning in your life, who gave you strength in your life, who gave you all this energy, all this boost of enthusiasm and joy, and all this energy that you have. It's very, very enthusiastic. Take advantage of it. And focus on and honor where you came from. Go back to your home. We get so into the ego. Oh, I want this. I want to go out and I want to do this. Da, da, da. Well, now is the month that you may be feeling called to go back to what makes you feel safe and secure. So, and anyone who tells you that you are not worthy to be yourself. Those are some wounds that you are working with, because Chiron's entering Taurus. Chiron enters Taurus is going to help you to look at these wounds of self-worth and unwind them and heal them and reconsider where they came from. Where did they come? What is the place that they came from? What is that place? Point to it. I want to know. What is that place where all these wounds came from and stem from? Now is the time where over the next several years, when Chiron is in Taurus, however long, it will help you to heal these wounds. And this is the work that you are starting to do in the month of June. Chiron's going to move into Taurus for several months in 2026. I'm going to go back into Aries, move fully in there 2027, and then, we're shot out of a cannon by that point. So, moving on to Taurus now. Now, Taurus, at the shadow expression, hoards everything in, every little resource, every little whatever. It hoards it. It holds it in. It does all these things. It takes all these resources. And it's mine. It just keeps them because of an insecurity about itself. Taurus self, no, not feeling secure within yourself, and you feel the need to constantly take, and not feel like when you feel secure in yourself, which the Scorpio North Node is secure in yourself, then you will naturally want to give some of those resources. You'll keep some resources, you want to give some resources, like it's a flow. Like Scorpio North Nodes are leaning toward the flow this lifetime. And it's not just about abandoning. You're trying to heal those shadows. You're trying to heal self-node, but you can't necessarily heal it because you're so stuck in the shadow. You need to lean toward the opposite. So it's about looking at, with this energy, your own sense of self-worth beyond just needing to hoard and hold everything in. Which is the Scorpio North Node, which is opposite the sign of Scorpio, opposite for those who have a Scorpio North Node or whatever. And sharing them generously, sharing these resources bountifully and generously. Jupiter is going to be in Leo. Very, very generous. Very, very big and loud. So sharing these resources is all-encompassing, all-important. Then, trusting your instincts. Very, very, very important. What do you want to create for yourself in this earthly realm? The food, the shelter, the whatever, the cooking, I don't know. Whatever you can think of. All those kind of things that come in with, Taurus qualities of all of those instinctual type things that are based off of, you want to go towards the earthly realm in order to feel like instinctually good. And then it really is about creating a safe space for your home to exist. Creating safety. It's all important. Taurus wants to feel secure. Taurus wants to feel safe. So, can you create that safe home for yourself? Creating that safe home for your own well-being and for your own security, for your own happiness. And really, it's about carving out the material stability and security for yourself, which is Taurus energy. I'm here to embrace this energy this lifetime. I'm here to carve out my own life entirely, by myself from my own two hands. And, it's about carving out this security for yourself. So you're really working on these wounds of self-worth when it comes to Chiron in your sign this month. It's going to really help you to heal any wounds around self-worth that you may be having, to help you to redefine the security and help you move towards your path where your security and your building up of stability can blossom over this period. Now, Gemini, The new moon in your sign on the 14th of the month is going to support you a lot because you're going to be setting new intentions about the narratives that you have for yourself. And this is for everybody, but this is for you especially because it's in your sign. What are those old narratives that you keep for yourself? Or that you have for yourself, really? So what are those narratives? What are those narratives? Now is the time for you to reframe those narratives. Any narratives society has told you, now is the time to take all those narratives that society told you, that you had to conform to, that you had to follow, that you had to do all this, you had to do all that, and basically dissolve it. And to accept it, to let it be there, but to not be in it, to create your own story, because Gemini, as a sign, wants to create its own story. Wants to think for itself, learn for itself, do all this stuff for itself. Wants to be free and spontaneous. It is a childlike sign. Children need to be nurtured to learn and think for themselves, and to not just go along with what the authority figures tell them, but to open up their minds and be inquisitive and ask questions and know how to, read and write and do all these intellectual skills for themselves. For themselves. So that is all important for Gemini. In a way. And then, you get to carve out your own rules. You get to carve out your own life, your own, story, your own whatever. And, it's not just going along with what everybody wants from you, what everybody expects from you. For everybody, what everybody wants you, you have to meet up with these people at the social gathering and, teach this class, do this certain thing, learn this certain place, go here, go there. But to really not go along with the herd, but to assert yourself. To assert, what words do you have that you want to assert, Gemini? What are those words that really, really you have in your mind that you want to just put out into the world and assert and put forth and do all of that? What are those words? Because now is the time where Mars in Gemini at the end of the month is going to help you to, really look at the words that you so want to speak, but you've been suppressed, told, oh, you can't say this, you can't do this, but now Mars in Gemini is giving you the activation and the boost to help you to speak these words, to help you to say these words very, very proudly, to help you to speak with your mind, speak to this person, be honest, be transparent, be verbally open to all these individuals, and to be your best intellectual companion. Can you find something to occupy you when you're in emotional states of being, moody states of being, but to, Gemini is good at distracting itself. Whenever Gemini feels in a depressed, sad mood and in a down, lonely feeling or whatever, feeling down, depressed, somebody hurts it, or something bad happens or something, they are so good at finding something to distract themselves. This is a beautiful quality. To have Gemini being so willing to take all their emotional states and become very, very you know what, I don't have to give into that. I can do something else. I can read this book. I can, write the song, talk to this person. There's so many things you can do in this, this world of stimulation. So Gemini is just so good at this. It's so good at distracting itself. So can you get out of this emotions and, yes, feel them and don't deny your emotions, Gemini. That's part of it. But to also, look outside of yourself to see what can I entertain myself with, being adaptable in that way to help you to not be in it. Because Gemini does not want to be in the feelings. It wants to be outside of it. So, Cancer. This is really, really huge for Cancer because Mercury is going to be entering your sign. The Sun is going to be entering your sign. Mercury is going to be going retrograde at the end of the month. So watch toward moodiness. Watch toward the tendency of moodiness. Because moodiness is one of the shadows of Cancer. One of the shadows of Cancer is really, really being very, very emotional and not being stable with your emotions and having mood swings. You're feeling one way one moment and another way the next. You're feeling happy, so joyful, and then the other way the next. So I'm saying to have autonomy for and responsibility for your emotions, to really, really be responsible for your emotions this month. And, being responsible for these emotions that come from when you feel the emotions. Okay? Like Capricorn is going to hear this too. Like, how you're so good at feeling these feelings. But really, when it comes down to it, Cancer, you can't be in that reactive emotional state. Yes, feel the feelings, but be responsible for them and say, you know what, I'm going to feel these, but I don't have to react and be all moody and be all, emotional, reactive or whatever. I can choose to respond in grounded, controlled, authentic, real, secure ways within myself. Cancer's so good about feeling and nurturing and doing all this, but the shadow is moodiness. And so can we, during this time, can Cancer, I invite Cancer to really, really just be so responsible that they are not giving into their moods and their this or whatever, but feeling these things really, really huge. Now, it's also about nurturing yourself. Taking care of yourself. A Cancer can be very, very needy. Just depend upon others to just take care of it and attend to its needs, attend to its every, want and, desire. And, all that. I had to take a drink of water. I'm getting thirsty doing this. Water, Cancer, nurturing the body goes together perfectly. Nurture yourself. You cannot underestimate the importance of receptivity, but, Cancer, it is so important during this month, especially towards the end of the month when Mercury goes retrograde and the Sun enters your sign, to nurture your own sense of self. To nurture what gives you, what fills you up. What makes you feel safe? What makes you feel secure in yourself? This is a time to not look to everybody else to nurture you. I mean, you can, but if you feel like you're being suppressed or you are being, suffocated in a way or just coddled and pushed in, now's the time to liberate yourself and really, really say, like, I can nurture myself. I can take care of myself. I am capable. Because Cancer, you are capable of nurturing yourself. You are capable of caring for your own emotions, attending to your own emotions, and doing all this. So then it's also about, finally, the final thing with Cancer is to use logic. Cancer is an emotional sign. But again, being responsible for your feelings is very, very important this month. Being responsible for your own emotions, not those of others, but also to respond from a grounded place. It's very, very, very important for Cancer to respond from this place of, you know what? I see what you're saying. I feel this. Allow yourself to feel it and be secure and calm and controlled and living from the inside out with your response. I talk about this all the time. Living from a secure, grounded place, living from the inside out is, when you're living from your soul, really. Because when you're in your ego, you're all reactive, and you're all mad, and then you're allowing basically everything in the world to just get the better of you. When you're living from the inside out, it's not just, reactive and, impassioned, whatever. It's calm. It's controlled. It's honest. It's assertive. It can be assertive. It can be assertive. And, I think there's something to be said about, showing what you're, passionate about and expressing what you are passionate about from a place inside of you. That's what I will argue, but really it is calm and grounded. So can you live from this place of calm and groundedness? It's really your, sort of homework assignment this month is to focus on what is the more grounded response that I have within myself to attend to in my own life. My own grounded response. What does that grounded response look like? How are you going to respond in that way? So anyway, Leo. Now, Leo. Venus is going to enter your sign, and Jupiter is going to enter your sign, so you're going to be having a party. Well, the South Node will next month, so we'll talk about that next month. If, when I do that video, the sound does not cut out, because last time in Mercury retrograde I made a video and the sound cut out. Well, if it does, I'm not going to redo the video. I put so much in that video, that's just the way it is. So, anyway, I'm not going to be a perfectionist over that, and I'm not going to waste my breath and energy doing it over again just because the sound didn't work. So it is what it will be, so, I don't do things over again. That's just inauthentic. So, Leo, showing your passions in love, being passionate, being your bold, creative self. How can you be passionate? It's time to shine and express the love from your heart that you want to. Leo is from the heart. Leo expresses its proud love from its heart because it loves so intensely and so strongly and so passionately. It just wants to show the world how much it loves everyone, or the ones that it cares about, because Leo's affect sign, very, very loyal. And being, expressing your heart's joy is really what this is about. And living from that heart-centered space is really, really important. Validating yourself is a really, really important lesson for Leo, because, I don't like this about Leo. The self-conscious, ego, narcissistic, that whole thing. No. I want to know Leos who are in their hearts and live fully from that place, whether they be calm, whether they be loud or flamboyant, whatever. Just as long as you're authentic and genuine, that's all I care about. So, not putting on airs or whatever. There's this need to, need external validation. How do I look? Leo looks in the mirror and goes, how do I look today? To the audience, how do I look today? Am I doing a good job? Am I, you don't need anybody else to validate you. You can validate and give yourself permission and love and assurance within yourself. You don't need others to validate you to make you feel secure and good about yourself, because you're never going to get enough of it. You can, but it's never going to be available. You're always available for yourself. You can always validate yourself, and it's healthier because you feel more secure, you feel more empowered. So I'm saying to Leo, validate yourself, say, I do look good. Okay, so recognize, when you're about to ask, do I look good enough? Am I good enough? Am I this enough? Am I that enough? No, say, I am good enough. I do look pretty. this isn't the right place. I can go after this goal. I can create this song. I can create this painting. I mean, whatever. I can love this person. Like, it's so empowering, Leo, to give yourself permission as opposed to relying, out there. So, can you be self-assured within yourself and confident? Can you be confident, Leo, in your response to whatever you engage in the world? Can you be, confident and self-assured that it will be going very, very well for you? And that is the way that it is. So with Leo, Leo is about confidence. Leo is about being confident with who you are. And it is about feeling assured within yourself. Feeling so sure of yourself that you know your worth. You know your worth. You own your talents and abilities. You own, how special you are, because you are very, very special. And guess what? So is everybody else. Everybody, including you, is allowed to shine. Implored to shine. So, can you be confident in your response to whatever you engage in the world, and show the best of yourself to the world? Show your best qualities, your most regal, authentic, confident qualities to the whole entire world. And now, Virgo. Moving on to Virgo. Now, looking at how does this need to serve, to take care of everybody else's needs, to be a needs meter, take care of their money, take care of their health, to cook for them, to give the person their pills, to run errands for them, to help them out with school, to help them out with work, or giving advice that is not unsolicited. I talked with this Saturn in Virgo, earlier Thursday of last week. So, with Saturn in Virgo individuals. So, how does this need to serve others impact you on emotional levels? How is this making you feel not so good about yourself? Constantly burdened by the need to be a martyr and to serve everybody's needs and take care of everybody's needs except your own. Virgo, service comes second to what comes first is taking care of yourself, nurturing your body, nurturing your health, so that you can pour from, so that you can give genuine service. Genuine service is actually being of help to others from a secure and grounded place instead of a place of just compulsive giving, and doing. Like, always needing to be of use, always being, like we have to separate out what is shadow and what is good. Like the evolved expression of Virgo is genuine help and service from a place of having taken care of yourself first, of working with the body, not against it, and of really, really giving from your heart. Not from this logical, you're not meant to be a robot, Virgo. You're not meant to just be this robot who just does everything. So get out of that, that need to always do and fix and to be responsible for everybody's mess. And, I'm saying to Virgo, let them. The book by Mel Robbins, like, let them take care of, all this stuff and, do all of this. And, help as much as you can, but you don't need to be in control of every aspect of everyone's life. So that is really, really huge for Virgo. And about feeling secure inside yourself. I think there's this tendency with Virgo. I think that you doubt yourself. And you look yourself in the mirror and you look at all the pimples on your face, all the flaws with you. And you become so self-conscious. So self-conscious. You're afraid of being exposed and you judge yourself so harshly. Because there's this feeling of inadequacy with Virgo. You are adequate. You are adequate. And it is about not being so mean to yourself, not being so harsh to yourself. Because self-love, Virgo, is very, very, very healthy. That's Leo energy. Leo the sign that came before you, like leaning to Leo energy for the energy of self-love. The heart version of Leo, like I love myself and I feel good about myself. I feel like I love the beauty of who I am. And the proud, radiant, creative, amazing parts of who I am. Leaning to the sign before Leo to help you to feel better about yourself. And can you lean into compassion for others that comes from compassion for yourself? Both and not either or. And can you let that compassion overflow? Can you just let it just pour out? That can help others in all kinds of ways. Boldly expressing and showing that love. Can you express this love out to the whole wide world and show the world how good you truly feel about yourself when you do the work? Because Virgo is not easy for Virgo. But more importantly, not being so judgmental of everybody else's flaws, but being accepting of them. Being secure in yourself. Oh my gosh. If you are not secure in yourself and you judge yourself so harshly, how do you expect to treat everybody else, I think that if you treat yourself like crap, then it's easy for you to treat others like that. It's like accept and love yourself so that you can then accept and love others for and accept their flaws. Stop being so judgmental and so this and so that. But to be compassionate, to show compassionate service to others. And Virgo's sign is very related to service. So, Libra, tend to your own environment, Libra. Tend to your own nest, to your own home. Nurture yourself, because Libra, people pleases, turn out everybody else's needs, and I have to make sure that one's happy, and that one's happy, and that one's happy, and everybody's happy. Trying to maintain the happiness of just everyone. It's about, so easy to get into the shadow of Libra. It really, really can, because as soon as you feed the need for peace and harmony, you're just off to the races with that people pleasing. If you're not mindful. So, can you nurture yourself as opposed to just this need to just take care of everybody else? Take care of everybody else's problems, everybody else's this, everybody else's that, and you can do all this stuff. Taking care of yourself. Taking care of your own well-being, your own body, your own life. You don't have to just go along with what the other wants. You have freedom and autonomy in your life to take care of yourself. So that is very, very important. And trust that others will respect you for doing that. When you express your needs openly and honestly, others will see that and honor you and recognize that and respect your need to take care of yourself. That is very, 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 very important. And, resources are the most valuable to you when it comes to unhappiness. Because Chiron is in Taurus, so Chiron entered Taurus. I'll do videos about that mid-June. What are the resources that are most valuable to you when it comes to your own happiness and well-being? What are those resources? What are those resources? I want to know. What are those things that, that are so valuable to you in your life? Physical resources. Money. Clothes. All these things relate to beauty. Give you a sense of harmony about yourself. How do they help your happiness? And it's about not letting anyone take away your own sense of self-worth about yourself. You're so naive, Libra. You're so just open to any idea that at the worst sense of self, you are so wrapped up in everybody else's thinking and everybody else's that you disassociate from yourself, that you just get disconnected from your sense of self. So, not letting anyone take away your sense of self-worth about yourself, feeling good about yourself is basically what it means. You don't let anyone tell you, oh, you're a bad person, or you're this or that, and just harmonize with it and go along with it. That's a very, very inauthentic way to live, Libra. Very inauthentic. So the authentic version of you wants this peace and harmony, wants this balance, but the authentic version of you also understands the value of just knowing that you're a human being and you have needs, and you have desires, and you have one life, so make the most of it and live it. That's what I'm going to say to Libra. So, Scorpio, this is the time, because Scorpio is really, really introverted sign. Very, very introverted. Very introverted, I must say that right now. So, it goes inward. Goes inside of itself. Doesn't want to just share all these things to the world. It wants to keep certain things private. It doesn't want to cross certain lines. That I like this about Scorpio because, well, I am not the best at this. I'm guilty of the opposite. So, I will name and claim that and admit that here on this video. But, Scorpio. If you have a lot of Scorpio energy in your chart, then you want to keep things hidden and private. It's about focusing on your inner realm. Focusing on your inner world. On where you can nurture on an internal, innermost level within yourself. Taking care of your own needs, your own emotional needs, your own, Excuse me, that was, quite a sneeze. But so, focusing on your inner world. So can you nurture that inner world? Scorpio is all about what is going on inside, into the depths. That's the first thing. Now, I want to talk about the next thing really, really strongly here. I want to get into this. One of the shadows about Scorpio. Inappropriate intensity. This is something from, Jan Spiller's book, Astrology for the Soul. An inappropriate intensity is where you're just forcing your way, being so forceful and so strong. You're expressing it in the wrong time, wrong situation, too intense, too much, too hot to handle, and you're not really feeling safe within yourself when you express this intensity. So, can you lean into softness and gentleness and channel your intensity wisely? Channeling the intensity in a wise kind of way where you're just speaking to what you feel, what's going on, where you're going after your goals with vigor and passion, but not so intense. Not so needing to just get everything done to the ends of the earth no matter what. Like Scorpio could just be so full on and just destroy their inner peace just to get something done, just to get something. Oh my gosh. Well, that's the tendency that I'm leaving behind. Destroying myself just to get something. Like, that is a shadow that I am working through in my own self, and that is something that I am working on releasing in my own life. To not be so reactive. There's also something, to not be very, when somebody hurts you, when somebody threatens your sense of self, don't take it personally. If you're not secure in yourself, you will just take it so personally and you will let it get the better of you. And then you'll react in very, very intense ways. It's about, again, with Cancer energy. I talked about this with Cancer. Like, responding as opposed to reacting. And with Scorpio, it can have a little bit of a fire to it. So, now, another tendency to leave behind with Scorpio's South Node is over-concern with the two tendencies from Jen Spiller's book. Over-concern with other people's business and preoccupation with the psychological motivations of others. Lean towards your opposite sign of Taurus to focus on material security. You're focusing on what gives you material security. What gives you stability? What do you want to build for your life that gives you that sense of like, I have footing here, I have a foundation here, it's all going great. And there's this need to just, it's a coping mechanism that you have of always being so preoccupied with what everybody else thinks and what everybody else is going on in their life and what everybody else is, needing to attend to everybody else's issues. Their mind, trying to heal them, what's going on in their own life, what they did here, what they did there. Being nosy and being a detective into others' business and what they do in their own life. Like, what business is it of yours to get involved in that, Scorpio? What business is it of yours? Like, mind your own business and focus on your own, what, this life. So, don't use others' psychological baggage and just attending to everybody else's needs and manipulating others and being so obsessed with people. Like, Scorpio gets obsessed about people. It's crazy. As a coping mechanism to avoid looking at yourself and all of your stuff and all your shadows and all your, your real. I'm not gonna say the words. But all what you have going on inside of you, I'm just laughing at something I heard. So, focus on, taking care of those things so that you can move towards material security. Like, Scorpio is so concerned with everybody's stuff. What about your own shadows? What about your own shadows that you need to integrate and transform? Because that's the evolution of Scorpio. Stop getting into everybody else's stuff. Focus on what you need to heal, what you need to grow, what you need to, evolve from, and doing that work to then be able to create the material security for yourself. So then, Sagittarius, my rising sign. Sagittarius is here to really follow its heart with whatever it goes to. Whatever it points to. So confidently, going wherever your heart takes you, going whatever direction your heart sort of steers you in the direction of. This life is very, 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 very important. So, what is that place you want to go to? What is that thing you want to learn? Like, now's the time to, open up to your heart with that. And then, Sagittarius is about trusting your intuition. So, can you trust that gut sense of, knowing, where to go next, where to travel next, what to explore next, and do all these things next? So, trusting your gut is really, really important. Getting out of the head, getting out of all this, getting out of the logic, Gemini. Moving into your intuition, what truly feels right for you, your inner guiding compass. What truly feels secure for you. It doesn't need a whole lot of explanation, really. It's just very, very simple. Like when you trust your gut and you get in the logic. When you get in the logic, it's so complicated. So much to explain, so much to figure out, so much to overthink. Like when you're in your gut, it is so simple. It's just what feels right. And going in that direction, you are bold and willing to go in those directions. And then, it's always good to, come back. Don't forget where you came from, Sagittarius. Don't forget where you came from. If you are an Italian chef on YouTube who is so obsessed with fame and this and that and has over 100,000 subscribers, then you are a Sicilian cook, then I'm telling you, don't forget about your Sicilian roots. Don't forget about where you came from. Where you came from. Your roots. Your home. Your family. Focus on these immediate surroundings. Also, you don't have to just ignore travel, ignore exploration. You could focus on these surroundings and not always needing to be out there. Not always needing, seek the highest quest or the highest mountain or whatever out there. It can come from, right here in your immediate environment. So that's very, very important. Moving on to Capricorn. Now, Capricorn. This is real negative tendency to just deny yourself pleasure and deny yourself feeling your emotions. This is one of the Capricorn shadows. This is not, wading into these feelings. So don't forget to feel these things. Feel your emotions instead of repressing them. So just pushing them aside, they're inefficient. They hold back productivity. They hold back, me achieving my goals or whatever. No. Feel them. And being responsible for your emotions means feeling your emotions, and you're already so good at using logic. So can you be grounded in your response to the emotions after you feel them? That Cancer, opposite sign is teaching you to ground into your emotional centers, to feel, to lean into the feelings and not just deny and push them away. So That's one thing. The next thing is Capricorn can really just go along with what everybody else wants them to do in their life. Go along with the authority figures in their life and, what they wanted to, build and what they wanted Capricorn to have and construct and do all of this. And it's about not giving into what those authority figures want from you. You have autonomy over your own life. It's about building a life for yourself. Self-respect. It's about carving out your own narrative. Use the new moon in Gemini around the June 14th to really look at the narrative around your own sense of what you want to create and build in the material world, because Capricorn is I build. So creating that narrative where you are creating your own story when it comes to what you want, like what do you want to build in the world? What are you so passionate about building, about constructing, about putting one foot in front of the other and building that vision? What do you want to build, Capricorn? Now's the time to use that new moon in Gemini to set the intentions for what you want to build in your life. So, Venus entering Leo on the 13th will help you to be more passionate in your life. You're thinking, what? That doesn't relate to Capricorn at all. Serving others through understanding how the sausage is made. That doesn't even make sense at all. What this comes down to is the thing with Capricorn that we have to remember is that Capricorn can be so serious. Responsibilities, duties, obligations, work, this and that. Oh, no, womp, womp, womp. Not a whole lot of fun. So, Venus in Leo, Jupiter in Leo is, inspiring you to add more zest and play and fun, enjoy to your personal life. Adding more fun. What does it mean, when you are feeling a sense of fun? When you're having fun in your relationship, you're doing all this, that is huge for Capricorn. Is the idea of fun. There's some resistance to this because it's all about the work. Fun is frivolous. It's a waste of time. It's not. Relax. Have fun. Lighten up. Do something fun for yourself. Play with energy of just fun and play and joy. And, don't deny your joy, heart. It's about energy this life. Don't waste your life away and be, a grumpy old man or woman in your later years and going, my gosh, I really worked so hard. I didn't just enjoy my life when you settled, when you get to this pearly gates and when you settle down, when you're not in a job anymore. You look back perfectly around your second Saturn return and you go, oh, wow, I really worked and slaved away all these years. I didn't have fun. I didn't balance it out with fun in my life, enjoy my life. What did I do? So this is the opportunity to bring that spark back into your life. So, spice your life up. If it's getting dull and boring and it's, doing all this something, change it up and add something playful, add something exciting to it and open up to that. So then Aquarius. Now, Aquarius. The shadow of Aquarius is utter detachment. So detached that you are so incredibly observant, that you are so incredibly scientific, that you are so incredibly uninvolved with life. Aquarius, you are a human being like everybody else, and you have the right to participate in life. You're not exempt from the human condition, the human experience, from emotions, from passion, from this and that. Okay? So, instead of being so cold and so distant and so cut off from everything and everyone, can you open up your heart and lean into what you truly feel passionate about? Like what is that feeling? Is it a cause that you want to lead? Is it a trend you want to set? Is it a painting you want to make? Is it a song you want to sing? Is it a dish you want to cook? Is it a book you want to write? Is it a place you want to travel to? Whatever it is, Aquarius. Whatever it is, focus on what you are passionate about and nurture those seeds. Like, those are seeds, but now's the time to nurture what you're truly passionate about. And it's about getting out of, the narratives that society has carved out for you, for yourself, and go your own way. Aquarius is here not to conform to everybody else, not to follow, not to just go along with it. It's here to really go its own way. To live its own life on its own terms, follow its own drum march, and really, really live out a full life of authenticity and freedom and liberation from the status quo. Not having to conform to what society, as I said. So what are those conditions? Like, oh, you can't do this. You can't be an artist. You can't, be a dancer. You can't be this, or you can't be that. No. Be like, I'm not going to accept that. And I am going to carve out my own story for my own life and go my own way. Like, that's the beauty of Aquarius. It's so liberated to just do its own thing. And that is something so special about Aquarius that I find so interesting. Now, also, it's about getting in touch with your ideals and your principles and your ideas that you have to present to the public stage, Aquarius. And so it's about presenting these things out to the public, being very, very proud about what you believe. I believe in world peace. I believe that the table should be flipped up to the other end. I believe in wholeness. I believe in health. I believe in all these kind of things that come along with whatever you believe. I don't know what you believe. You are the only ones that know what you believe. But whatever it is, don't hold it back. Don't hold back your, your ideals and your beliefs and what you feel so strongly about. Is express these proudly to the world. Use the Jupiter and Leo energy to really, really be confident in expressing your ideals and beliefs for the good of humanity, for the good of all. They're based on good terms. They're not, egoic, self-centered stuff. It's really for the good of all. But use the Leo energy for confidence and self-assurance. Love for yourself enough that you are strong within yourself on that level. So, finally, Pisces. The thing with Pisces is it's the most sensitive sign of the entire zodiac, because you could say Cancer is, but really it's Pisces. You know why? Because Pisces doesn't just feel what's in its immediate environment, family, all this. Cancer is a cardinal sign. It has roots. It can be very, very in control and very, very this, but Pisces is like branches on a tree. It just, whatever direction the wind just blows into that tree, it just blows along with it. It just goes along with it. It's not grounded and rooted in a sense of security in self. Like, that's the lower to Pisces. It's wanting to ground with the Virgo energy of healthy boundaries and discernment, all those lessons for Virgo. But with this, Pisces, it's just can be in a fishbowl. Can be in an utter fishbowl and can be just swept along by the current of all of everybody's problems, of all of life, what's going on, and not wear the world loosely. Not wear it loosely. And that's your challenge, is to wear the world loosely. Like your challenge this month is to wear the world loosely and to not take what goes on in the world so personally. Like, Pisces takes what everybody's problems, what everybody's, thinking is, what everybody's thinking or doing or feeling. Like, they're feeling it. Like, they feel the pain of people on the streets. They feel everybody's pain. They feel the whole rainbow of emotions. They feel the whole spectrum of emotions. They're not exempt from the human condition. They're not exempt from feeling all these very, very complex and deep human emotions that are really, really icky sometimes, and sucky, and all these kind of things like that. So it is about not taking everything that goes on in the world so incredibly personally, with all its emotions, with all that it feels, and all of this and all of that, with what goes on in the world in that way. Not take what others say so personally. To really, really not take what others say, what others are thinking, what others, think of you. And it may hurt you, it may, offend you, it may, really, really hurt you on a deep level, but it's about not taking it so personally, not taking all the events that go on in the world personally, and living from a sense of grounded, centered peace. And, like, Pisces is here to really prioritize its sense of peace about itself. Pisces wants peace. Spiritual, emotional peace. Like, that's what it's all about. And, I know this because, I have a family member who is a Pisces, and she's very, very much about the energy of peace. So, my grandparents were in the signs of Venus's exaltation and rulership, Taurus and Pisces. So, they're both very much about peace. So, can you ground into the earth with all these kind of things and not take everything so personally, and grounding into the earth and taking all those dreams that you have, those ideas, those visions that you have for your life, these things that come from the higher realms, that you channel from higher realms, and manifest them in your reality. Like, can you take them and actually manifest them into physical, reality, physical, existence and form, and, what have you. Manifesting them and making them, reality for yourself in that kind of way, where you are doing just that. And, where you're taking. So, what is that dream? Don't let life just pass you by, Pisces. Manifest that dream. Make that dream reality for yourself in a way where you're really, really living that up fully. And it really is about tuning into your inner world. Tuning into that inner part of you. That inner realm inside of you. That just shuts out all the distractions, all the noise, all the the dramas, all the the emotions of all this and all that, and just feel into your inner world, into your inner joy, to your inner realm, into your inner sanctuary, to your inner peace, and go inward in that. Go inside yourself. Time to reflect, because with the Mercury going retrograde in Cancer, it's going to be a deep time of self-reflection, and the Sun into Cancer, so it's going to really, really be about going inside, nurturing yourself, taking care of yourself, and that's really the hope of this time. So that is all that I have to say for Pisces, and for all the signs really for the month of June. I hope that you enjoyed and got value out of this video. Anyone who's watching it, anyone really, including, especially, well, completely my viewers. My viewers is, everybody. So thank you all for tuning in. I hope that I will see you next time. on the Cosmic Sky podcast tomorrow, where I will be discussing, I wanted to do it tomorrow. I didn't make it an obligation for myself, because whenever I obligate myself, it's like, oh my gosh, do I really have to do another one? It becomes a not fun thing. Like, I can only handle one video, but if I want to do another one, then I just allow myself the time to do that. Because that's how I want to use my time and energy and everything like that. So tomorrow's episode will be on Mars in the sign of Capricorn. In the natal birth chart, I kind of didn't get to this one. I thought that I did a whole video about that, but I actually did. I barely did any of it. So I'm going to do that video on this podcast, and then I'm going to do sort of catch up certain videos on this podcast for this week until Thursday and Friday, when I give you your videos on the full moon, blue moon in Sagittarius on May the 31st. Happening at the very, very end of the month. I'm going to be discussing that on Thursday and Friday. The Thursday is the collective, Friday is the 12 sign reading. So anyway, that's all for now, and I'll see you next time, and well, take good care of yourself. So will I. See you next time. Bye. That rhymed.